DreAllDay.com.
Showtime. It is showtime. Showtime. Listen, I want to tell y'all something. I'm ready to deliver. This is Dre Baldwin, Dre All Day. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube right now, I am live streaming this on Periscope. Periscope. All y'all know about Periscope. I know y'all know what Periscope is. If you know what YouTube is, you know what Periscope is. This is Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Live Q&A. This is Q&A number 87. I want to let y'all know something. It has been decreed by God himself. It has been sent down from the heavens that it is my worldly destiny to put out more videos than any individual in the history of the internet. It is my destiny. It's been told to me. It came to me in my sleep. A little bird told me on the windowsill. It came to me in my dreams. It is my destiny to do that. So if you're watching right now, please give me the hearts if you like what I'm saying, because that's the only way that I know that y'all enjoy what's going on here. On Facebook, we got the like button. On Twitter, we got retweets and favorites. On what else we got? You know y'all got the likes on everything else. On Periscope is the hearts. So if you like what I'm saying, tap the screen. We're going to get right into it. This is Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. You are here at Q&A number. This is Q&A number 88. For those of you who are seeing this for the first time, I do this every week on my YouTube channel where I take questions that are in the comments from the previous week's Q&A. I respond to them right here live on YouTube or live on Periscope now. So what I heard, so I got Solutions Turk here. So what I was just doing a Periscope a couple minutes ago where I was giving people my daily routine. It was supposed to be my morning routine. I did the whole daily routine. And what happened? Hold off on the questions right now. Let me get this introduction. I'm going to take the questions. I am going to take questions. Please hit that hearts if you like what I'm saying. I need the hearts so I got feedback. That's the only way I know that y'all like what I'm saying, because if I'm being boring, I got to know that too. So if you like what I'm saying, give me the hearts. I do this Q&A every week on YouTube. I've been doing it obviously for 87 weeks. Every week I take the comments from the previous week's Q&A, I respond to them in a video, and I post it on YouTube. Today, when I was just doing a different Periscope, I thought to myself, you know what, why don't I just do it on Periscope every week, save the video to my camera roll, and then upload it to YouTube. So I kind of double dip into both. So I'm going to do this Q&A live on Periscope every single week. Make sure if y'all can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. Hit the hearts, let me know that you can hear me and you like this idea of what I'm doing now. I had to change the t-shirt. Y'all don't understand that when you're sitting and recording and talking, it actually takes a lot of energy. I actually ate a banana a couple minutes ago. I had to turn the AC down in the crib because it's getting hot when you're just sitting here talking. It does take a lot of energy. So anyway, we're going to do this Q&A. Any of you have questions? If you have a question that you would like me to address, it does not matter the topic. I am an expert on the topics that I talk about. So we're talking about basketball. We're talking about discipline. We're talking about confidence. We're talking about marketing. We're talking about branding. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about business. I know these topics inside and out. So if you have a question about any one of those, post your question. I will address your question in between addressing the questions that I have here in the comments on YouTube. So I got the comments here pulled up on my MacBook Pro, 13-inch MacBook Pro. I need to give me a new MacBook, actually. I want to have like 5 computers because I do so much on the internet. I should have 5 computers. I need to have 5 computers. I want to have 5 of them. So post your questions and we're going to get to them. Now, the first question here, if I don't address your question and it goes away, please post it again. So question is, multitasking and entrepreneurship is the bane of my existence. How do you focus on what you are doing? Because multitasking is the bane of his existence. Listen, human beings cannot multitask. All human beings can only pay attention to one thing at a time. So if you're trying to pay attention to more than one thing at a time, you're giving less than your full focus to any of those one things and you're not doing it well. Any of you ever tried to drive and text? I know all of us do it. Please don't drive and text. Look up and don't look down, because you could, one split second could change somebody's life, yours or somebody else's. You don't want to put yourself in that position, but don't try to multitask. You can be doing multiple things. For instance, I've had that challenge in my mind sometimes because I do multiple things. You got basketball, you got YouTube, I got my website, I got businesses, I got speaking engagements, I'm doing writing, I got email lists, I got YouTube channel, I got Facebook page, I got Periscope, I got Instagram, I got Twitter. You got all these different things, but you focus on one thing at a time. So you can be focused on one thing, do that one thing as best you can, even if it's for 5 minutes or it's for an hour. Do that one thing, then move on to the other things. So you just got to manage your time and do it in segments. So if you gotta, let's say you gotta write something and you gotta make a YouTube video and you gotta go to work today. Go to work and focus on work and do a good job at your job. When it's time to make the video, focus on the video. When you're done with the video, focus on the thing that you got to write. So just separate them and focus on them. Next question. Please come to me with the questions. In between, I'm going to answer the questions that I got here on YouTube because these people left comments last week. Raider Nation says, is athletic lifting more sets and reps with less weight, or is it max reps with heavy weight? What does it mean to be athletic? So as he says, when you're lifting weights, should you do high reps and low weight, or low reps and high weight? It depends on what actually you're trying to get done, Raider Nation, and it's not really a black and white answer to that. Because the answer is you need a total body program if you want to be an athlete. Athlete is not just lifting weights. It depends on your sport. So if you play basketball, there's no lifting weights in the game of basketball. You got to run, you got to jump, you got to move laterally, you got to move forward and backward. You got to be able to stop on a dime and change direction. You got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to get low. You got to be able to get high. You got to be able to stretch. None of that has to do with lifting weights. So you need all of that in addition to the lifting weights. If you want to add size and strength, you need to lift heavy weights. Period. Heavy weights. If you are a man working out most of your workout for strength as an athlete, you want to gain strength. That's why you lift weights. Lift heavy weights. Heavy weights. That means you should be able to do, I don't want to give you a certain rep range because I don't want to give you wrong information. I would say if you can do more than 8 reps on a certain amount of weight, that weight is too light. You need to lift heavier weights. If you're trying to add strength and or size, you need to be able to do fewer than 8 reps. So do some reps. If you can do more than 8, get a heavier weight for your next set. And go heavier until you find that comfort zone where you could do, let's say, between 5 and 8 reps. We'll just give you that gray range. That's where you're adding strength and size. So we're going to get to a question from Zachary. He says, watching this the day I have tryouts, so hopefully, Zachary, you made the basketball team. Next question. Leroy says, if I had stopped playing ball seriously for teams, I'm just playing recreational, how do I actually get back in a high-level ball like college? And do I know a good trainer in California? Well, in California, the one guy that I do know of is my guy, Devin. What is Devin's last name? Shit, I forgot Devin's last name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. 10,000 hours. Devin, I did a video with him 2 summers ago, summer of 2013. Devin's a good dude. I know he's a good trainer. So if you're in the Southern California area, he's the guy you should hit up. I think he's from the Bay, but I think he's in Southern Cal. I haven't talked to him recently. And Leroy, if you're trying to get back in a high-level ball, just do it. Don't try it. Just do it. You want to play college ball? You know what you got to do to play college ball. First thing, you got to be enrolled in college. You can't play college ball if you don't go to college. Devin Williams, yes, I forgot Devin's last name. Devin Williams, 10,000 hours. He's the guy in Southern California I hit up. I don't know any other trainers in Southern California. And then just go play. I see that question, Raider Nation. And then just go play. Go to college, walk onto the team. You don't know how to walk onto a basketball team, go to dreallday.com, click on the link that says guides and tips. I have a page where I talk about how to walk onto a college basketball team. I also got a video about that. So Raider Nation said, my favorite shoe to chill in. It really depends on what I got at the time. So my favorite shoes to chill in right now is the Jordan Superfly 4. Excuse me, the Blake Griffin version. The Jordan 29s I like those Hirachis that I made a video about a couple weeks ago. What else? Jordan 10s. So KC2Fly says, what's a good eating routine for a basketball player? Well, see, people always ask me these general questions. What is a good thing to do? It's not really about this. It's about what works for you. Because different people have different needs. Like Shaquille O'Neal and Chris Paul have different ways of eating. But they're both pretty damn good at basketball. Or at least they have been at some time. So it depends on what it is that you're trying to get out of it. Like I talked about my previous stream. If you didn't see that, watch my previous stream about my daily and morning routine. I talk about what I eat every single day. So y'all can see that exactly. Not what I eat every day, what I eat every morning. As far as eating routine, you got to first of all ask yourself, what do you want? So tell me what it is you're trying to gain, and I can give you a better answer. Somebody else posted a question that I missed, so repost that question, please. Prince says, now I'm going back to YouTube. Prince says, I'm interested in being a part of the marketing and branding field. Could I give him insight and detailed explanation on exactly what it is? Well, Prince, how could you want to be in a field you don't even know what it is? But if you want to be in the marketing and branding field, you should stay following me because I got a whole lot of content that I'm working on right now when it comes to marketing and branding that's going to be coming out through my website, dreallday.com, through a new email list that I'm putting together. I already got like 4 email lists, but there's going to be another email list because they're segmented based on what people like. That is coming out very soon. And also, videos of my speaking engagements where I talk about branding and marketing, those will all be coming up here on my YouTube channel. Yes, Raider Nation favorite chewing shoe is what I just said. The Jordan 29s, Superfly 4, the Jordan 10s, the Hirachis. What else I got? I like the KD 6s. It just depends on what I got. You know, whatever I get. I don't really buy sneakers, so I just wait for somebody to send me a free pair, and that's my favorite chewing pair. So whatever I get next for free, that's the one that I like to chew in. I haven't bought a pair of sneakers in a long time. Next question. Wildski123. He says, and please keep hitting those hearts if you like what I'm saying. Wildski says, I'm doing a ball handling workout. It's really helping a good bit, but after I'm done with it, in a month or so, do you think I should get the jump manual or do another workout to the ball handling? Well, here's the thing, Wowski. If you want to be a great basketball player, every basketball player is watching this, listen to this. There is no one thing you need to do to get good at basketball. Because if you play basketball, what are the skills you need to play basketball? You need to be athletic. You need to be able to run and jump and move laterally, forward and backward also. You need to be able to do that. You need to be able to dribble. You have to be able to shoot. You have to be able to pass. You have to be able to rebound. You got to be able to play defense. You need to be in shape. You need to have strength. You need to have conditioning. All of that's necessary. There is no one thing that you can focus on to the exclusion of everything else that's going to make you good at basketball. Because anything that you're missing, the higher levels of basketball you play at, your opponents are going to notice your weakness and exploit it over and over and over again until your ass is on the bench. So you cannot exclude any area of basketball. So if you're working on your handle right now, keep working on your handle. You want to work on your jumping skills, work on your jumping skills, but keep working on your handle at the same time. Do not exclude anything. He says mainly trying to stay in shape and remain at a consistent weight. If you want to remain at a consistent weight, keep eating the same amount you're eating now, because you're burning, the amount you're burning and the amount you're taking in is in equilibrium. That's why you're not gaining or losing weight. If you want to gain weight, eat more than you're burning. If you want to lose weight, eat less than you're burning. Very simple. Next question, Bert. Actually, let's take this one. MHYMGR says, meaning he has to have a shot. His question is answered. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad I answered your question. Anyone else have a question? Post it in the comments here. I will answer the questions on the stream in between answering questions from the YouTube comments from last week's Q&A. Next is Burke. Says, I'm 17, I'm 6'4". Is it possible that I can grow 3 more inches? I looked at Anthony Davis, and he said he grew 8 inches in an 18-month span. Listen, that's great that Anthony Davis grew 8 inches in an 18-month span. I only know one Anthony Davis. So you should not bank your future on what Anthony Davis did. Now, I know Anthony Davis grew 8 inches in 18 months. That doesn't mean anybody else is going to do it. That's his path. So you got to follow your path. So, Burke, you're 17 and 6'4". What you need to do is focus on being the best 17-year-old, 6'4" tall Burke that you are. That's what you need to focus on. Now, if you happen to be 6'5" when you're 18, then be the best 18-year-old 6'5" Burke that you can be. If you happen to be 7 feet when you're 21, be the best 21-year-old 7-footer that you are. But don't focus on age 21 because you're not 21. You're 17. Focus on what you can do right now to be as best a player as you are right now, because all you have is right now. What happened in the past does not equal your future. What's going to happen in the future you cannot control. All you have is the present. And is a gift, or however they do that little phrase. Y'all know what I mean. So that's why they call it the present, because it's a gift. Y'all know what I'm saying. Next question. Andrew Munoz says, how do you talk to a girl? Like, what do you first say? How do you ask for her number? And how do you start a conversation to keep the conversation going? That is an excellent question. Now, I actually just posted a video, Andrew, on my YouTube channel. So all of y'all who don't know about me on YouTube is youtube.com/DreUPT. DREUPT. If you don't remember that, listen. Just search my name in the search bar on YouTube. Search my name on Google. Go to anybody who watches basketball on YouTube and say my name. They all know me. I created this platform. So just look me up on YouTube. I just posted a video called How to Get More Females Part 1. So Part 2 ain't even come out yet. It's probably going to go to a Part 30 that I'm going to be doing that. And one of my favorite authors, a guy named Tucker Max, he just put out a book called Mate, M-A-T-E, and it is all about how males can attract and keep females. Males just want to do better at dating, especially young guys. And who was that question? Andrew asked that question. Go get that book. I didn't write that book. I don't make any money off you purchasing that book, but I always recommend good stuff that I hear about. So when I hear about something that's good, I tell people that I know about it because I know it can help them. So go get that book and read it, and it will help you a lot. Because I know Tucker knows his stuff. And I listen to his podcast. Actually, you can get his podcast if you just want to get a free sample. It's called The Mating Grounds. The Mating Grounds. Listen to that podcast. And the question is, No Days Off says, what's my preseason NBA Finals prediction? The other question is my opinion on LeBron's 13. LeBron 13s. All right, number one, my NBA Finals prediction right now, Cleveland Cavaliers against the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to be doing previews of every NBA team. I'm going to talk about that later. And what do I think of the LeBron 13s? I haven't seen them yet. I saw a picture on Twitter the other day where it was like a close-up of the shoe. So you couldn't really see what the shoe looked like, but it said LeBron 13s coming out September 27th. But I couldn't even see the whole shoe, so I don't even know what it looks like. So I can't give you an opinion on the shoe because I have no idea what it looks like. Next question, Yoel says, have you ever experienced racism growing up? I just experienced it with an old white man who... Actually, let me go back to the previous question with Andrew because I do want to give him a little bit of an answer here. What do you say first when let's say you see a girl you're interested in, right? So what do you say first? How do you ask for her number? And how do you start a conversation and keep the conversation going? And KC2Fly, you got to come back to me with that question once I get done with this question so I can read that and answer it. All right. So let's say I'm in a mall. I see a girl that I'm interested in. I'm interested in this girl. Now, there's a whole lot of iterations to this. All right. The first one is this. I'm going to see if I can make eye contact with the girl. If I'm interested in the girl, I'm going to see if I can make eye contact with her. And if she makes eye contact back with me, then based on that eye contact, I'll see if she's interested or if she isn't. It'll be very clear. And it's kind of like it's a subconscious thing. It's not like she's going to hold up a sign that says, yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not. You got to be able to read. You got to be able to read people's eye contact and their body language, because the eyes never lie. The mouth lies. The eyes never lie. Someone's eyes will tell you exactly what they're thinking and what they're feeling. You just got to get good at reading it, and that just comes from getting a whole lot of experience in human interaction. It's not something you can read about in a book. It's something you got to go out there and live. So I'm going to try to make eye contact with the girl. From that eye contact, I'll know if she's interested or not, or if she's maybe mildly interested. I'll know immediately. So once I know, now my next step is to approach. Now I might approach directly. I might kind of approach a different way just based on what the situation is, because there's a lot of things. What's the contest I'm competing in next year? This question is from, you got to hold that question until I get done with this question, because the questions disappear, y'all. So if I'm in the middle of a question and you post one, you just got to wait till I'm done with it to post yours so I can get to it. But again, hit those hearts if I'm going. So I'll approach the girl. I'm going to approach the girl. I'm going to say something about whatever the situation is. We're in a bar. I'm going to say, hey, you come here often? No, I'm not going to say that. That's a lie. If we're in a bar or we're in a mall, I'm going to say something about the situation. And it's really just a conversation starter. And usually, if you're going to do a conversation starter with a girl, this is a good tip for men. Don't say the normal canned thing. Don't say something that she's heard 10 times already today and 100 times this week. So you want to say something about something that's different from what any other dude would say. So don't say something like, hey, what are you doing in the mall? Or, hey, how often do you come to this bar? Or, hey, where are you from? So just approach her and say, I need context. It's hard for me to just come up with something out of the blue. I need some type of context. Give me some context. Well, Andrew is on YouTube, so I can't even say to him. You need some context. But again, overall, here's the overall answer to the question. It's all about confidence. If you have confidence, you can approach anybody and say anything. Whether they're interested in you or not, it doesn't matter if your confidence is high. If your confidence is low, your self-esteem is low, then you're already judging the situation before you do anything. And what happens is a lot of people think themselves out of opportunities before they even try to do anything, because their confidence is not high. They don't believe in themselves. And that comes to girls, that comes to business, that comes to basketball, comes to relationships, comes to everything. So you got to believe in yourself. When your confidence level is high, my confidence level is high enough, I can approach any woman. I don't really care if she's interested or not. She's not interested, that's fine. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to find the next girl. If that's what I was out there for, if that's what I'm looking for. So it's not really about what you say, it's about how you say it. And it's about the energy behind it and how you feel about yourself. Because when you're not confident, you approach a woman, she can tell, she can smell it from a mile away when your confidence is not high. So you can also smell it from a mile away when your confidence is high. And the difference between those two is the difference between getting the girl and not getting the girl. It's not about what kind of car you drive, what kind of clothes you got on, how much money you got, who you hanging with, what kind of cologne you got on. If your confidence is high, you can make anything happen. In relationships, in business, in basketball, in anything. So your confidence has to be high, your belief level has to be high. That's how you make it happen. So next question. Somebody posted a question. Go ahead and repost that question so I can get to the Periscope question, and we'll come back to YouTube. So if any of y'all got a question on Periscope, write the question, then copy paste it. Dre Baldwin versus Matt Dellavedova. We had to play that game. KC2Fly says, how can you get your professional playing career started after college? You want to get your pro playing career started after college? I wrote a book about it. It's called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. You can get that at dreallday.com/blueprint. Or also go to Amazon or iBooks. You can get that book. Just look my name up, Dre Baldwin. It's called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. If any of y'all watching this feed, watching this Periscope, please swipe to the right and share this feed. Invite more people to come watch this live stream, because I'm taking questions live on Periscope. Next question is Yoel. And again, I'm switching between YouTube and the comments here. So Yoel said, have I ever experienced racism growing up? He experienced with an old white man, accused him of some bullshit because based on his appearance. He's wondering, have I, and how did I deal with it? Maybe tell us the story. Well, Yoel, have I experienced racism? I'm sure. I mean, people don't just come out and say, hey, I'm being racist towards you, Dre. They don't do that. So people just do things. But again, if some guy accused you of something, that doesn't affect you really, Yoel. It doesn't mean you have to respond. It doesn't mean you have to feel good or bad about it. It doesn't mean you have to say anything to him. You can still live your life. He's not physically imposing on you from doing anything. He didn't arrest you, did he? He didn't beat you up. He didn't spit on you. He didn't take your money. He didn't do anything to you. So you can just keep going on with your life. It's kind of like somebody being racist, the same as trash talk in basketball. And I made a video about this. Just because somebody trash talk to you does not mean you had to say something back. Doesn't mean you had to feel any way about it. Doesn't mean you had to even address it or even think about it. You can just let it go and keep doing what you're doing. What somebody else says has no effect on what you do unless you allow it to. Next question. Balling like the Raptors. He said, I don't know if this has been asked ever, but what's my favorite solo Wutang album? That is a hell of a question. That's one of the best questions I ever got in the Q&A. My favorite solo Wutang album got to be Supreme Clientele by Ghostface Killer. That came out in 2000 when I was a senior in high school. Next, Math says, Dre, I love your content that you put up and no BS. Real attitude toward things. And he wants to ask, what originally got me into personal development and how was I exposed to the works of people like Napoleon Hill? That's a great question. And please hit those hearts if you like what I'm saying here. What got me into personal development is that I've always been a reader. I've always read books. My mother is a teacher. My grandmother is a teacher. My sister is a teacher. So I have a lot of teachers around me. My mother had my sister and I. My sister's only a year older than me. She had both of us reading books at a very young age. She used to read to us every single day. She had us reading before we even got into kindergarten. So we've always been into reading. So I've always had a love for books. And I've always been a sponge for knowledge. If any of you ever heard of the four personalities, the shark, the dolphin, the whale, and the urchin, I'm an urchin. I like having information. I like reading stuff. I like learning new stuff. I've always been that type of individual. So once I got older, I would always go to, and this is before digital took over, I would go to bookstores. Walden Books, y'all remember Walden Books, Borders, all those bookstores. I would go to those bookstores and I would go in the bookstore and I would just look through books and I would find books that I like. I would always go to the personal development section or the human psychology section and the business section. Those are three sections I always went to, and sports. I mean, not front, sports also. Those four sections, they usually would be next to each other in the bookstores I went to. And I would just look at the spines of the book. I'll pull out a book that I like. I'll look through it. Then I would buy books. And I actually found Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power, my favorite book of all time. I found that book just browsing the bookstore. And I used to always just go to bookstores and just browse. Now I find books by referral. So I'll hear somebody on a podcast who's really good, and usually they have a book. I'll go read their book. I just finished Sally Hogshead's book, which is called How the World Sees You. It's about how to frame yourself in the best light that makes people like you the most. That's the best way I can explain it. I just wrote a review on that. It's going to be up on my website probably in a week or two. But I found those books just by going in bookstores, just reading, talking to people. When I meet somebody who's really smart, I say, what books do you read? How'd you learn about that? How'd you learn how to do business that way? How'd you get that philosophy? How'd you learn how to deal with people that way? How do you know that thing that you just explained to me? How'd you learn that? And they'll tell me, I read this book. I read this person. I listen to that person. That's how I get that information, just by talking to people, communicating. So when you meet somebody who's smarter than you or doing better than you in anything, ask them how they got to that point. What did you do? What do you listen to? Who do you hang with? What do you read? Because everybody you know who is a leader is a reader. Leaders are readers. Y'all, if y'all haven't heard that phrase before, now you've heard it. Leaders are readers. So people who read are people who lead. What's up, C. Williams? I see you. So we're doing our live Q&A right now. So anybody got a question, go ahead and post. So how I came across Napoleon Hill, again, just talking to people who are doing better. That's probably in college. Just talking to people who are doing better in business than me. People who are better than me in business, I asked them, how'd you get so good at business? How'd you get so good at talking to people? And that's how I found Napoleon Hill. So Solutions Turk asked me, what high school did I go to? I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I went to the High School of Engineering and Science. Full name, George Washington Carver High School of Engineering and Science, 17th and North in North Philly. That's where I went to high school, also known as ENS. Next, Andrew Hinton. Andrew told me that I look like Adrian Peterson. Probably with my hat off. So, okay, thank you, Andrew. Next question, Spencer says, I'm a shoot first guard. Solutions, you went to ENS? That's crazy. Spencer says, I'm a shoot first guard. My coach told me I need to score 10 to 15. Wait, does he say drop or score? All right, he needs to lose 10 to 15 pounds before the season starts. Yes, Coach Brown. You see Coach Brown telling Dre Baldwin said, what's up? He said, so Spencer said his coach told him he needs to lose 10 to 15 pounds before the season starts. He tried to lose weight a few times before. He's never been successful. How should he go about this, like with nutrition, and what should he eat in relation to a workout? Now, I want to come out with a nutrition program, but I'm not the person to write it. I'm waiting on my trainer, Maria Solon-Scally, to write that program. She's kind of slow with actually getting stuff done sometimes. So I'm waiting on her to actually get that done. I want her to write that program because I'm not qualified to write a nutritional program, honestly. So I'm going to give you the wrong information. But one basic rule of thumb when it comes to losing weight is this. Eat fewer calories than you burn. So if you're burning more calories than you're taking in, you will lose weight. If you're burning about the same amount that you're taking in, your weight will remain stagnant or remain constant, right? That's a better word, constant. And if you are burning fewer calories than you're actually consuming, you will gain weight. These are facts. These are scientific facts of the universe. If you are not losing weight, that means you are eating too much. So eat less and or burn more. So which means be more physically active or eat less or a combination of both. I guarantee you will lose weight. Next. Grayson says, Brendan Myers would be a good Q&A. I don't even know who Brendan Myers is. All right, and Solution Search says he's an old head. He was gone way before I got there. Oh, all right. All right, Solutions, I got you. All right. I don't know who Brendan Myers is, so if you could fill me in on who Brendan Myers is, Grayson, that's a possibility. Next, Measley says, what is in the Point Guard package? He's talking about hoophandbook.com because I want it for my birthday, but my parents aren't sure about it. Well, I don't know what your parents aren't sure about. Tell them to go to hoophandbook.com and they click on the Point Guard package link. That's, for those of you who don't know, I got a website where I have a whole bunch of training programs for basketball players. That website is called hoophandbook.com. Hoophandbook.com. And on that site, I have a package called the Point Guard package, which he's asking about. It's 16 programs. Actually, it might be 21 programs now. All of the point guards who I made programs for. Whoever just posted that question, post it again on hoophandbook.com. You get a package of all those programs put together. So if your parents want to know what it is, I just told you, tell them to go to the website, and it says this package contains these programs, and it has a list of every single program that's in it. So you get all of those programs together in one package, and you're saving like 60% on the price if you would have got all of them individually. So whoever posted that question, please post it again. I missed it. Next question is, before I get to that, I'm going to wait till somebody posts one on Periscope. Somebody got a question, please hit those hearts if you like what I'm saying. I see two people, the brown and the blue, giving me all the hearts. Where the rest of y'all at? Please give me some hearts. Raider Nation says, is mentality the key to being a great player? Absolutely, yes. Mentality is absolutely the key to being a great everything. Business person, great person in a relationship, great person that writes books, great person that makes YouTube videos, great person that's a swimmer, great person that's a firefighter, great person that builds buildings, great person, everything is based on mentality. 90% of life is your mentality, 10% is your physical abilities, tools, and resources. 90% is how you think. Absolutely doesn't matter what you're doing. C. Williams said, did I play in the NBA? No, I did not play in the NBA. I played overseas for 9 years, 8 different countries. Somebody else posted a question while I was talking. Please repost that question. I missed it. Can I get some hearts from the rest of y'all that's in this room, please? KEHCO says, what are my goals in basketball right now? A lot of things I want to do in basketball. Not on my goal. I don't share every single goal that I got, but one that I will say is to help a whole bunch of other players get better. Because when I was first starting out, there wasn't a lot of people who were helping me get better. So I want to help a whole lot of other players get better. I want to share everything I know about basketball and put it in a format that people will be able to watch 200-300 years from now when I'm not around to talk about it no more. Like YouTube, like Periscope videos, like my website, like the books that I write, like the programs at hoophandbook.com. Next question, Jamari Reed off YouTube says, I see almost every player make layups without aiming at the backboard too long. And when they hit the board, it goes quickly in the basket. While my layups are very blockable and have to aim at the square longer. All right, so KC2Fly, I'll get to that question after I answer this. So Jamari, here's your first problem. Number one, you haven't seen almost every player. You probably watched maybe 5, 10, maybe even 20 players. But guess how many basketball players there are in the world? Probably about 20,000. So you have seen a very, very small percentage of the number of basketball players out there. Number one, you say you see players make layups without aiming at the backboard. You cannot judge what somebody else is aiming at because aim is an internal thing that happens in somebody's mind. So nobody has to tell you what they're aiming at or if they're aiming at all. So you can't even judge if somebody's aiming. And the third thing is, you see almost every player make their layups. So basically he's saying he sees almost every player have success while he's not having success. Then he goes right back to the previous answer. This is all mental. Jamari, your problem has nothing to do with what other players are doing, has nothing to do with somebody blocking your shot. It don't even have anything to do with layups. It don't even have anything to do with basketball. Your problem, Jamari, is that you're looking at other people and you're seeing what they do well and you're comparing it to yourself, what you're doing bad, and all you're doing is putting yourself in a negative cycle that's going to keep driving you down, down, down to the point that you won't even want to step on a basketball court. Stop it. Stop doing that. You are your own worst enemy. Nobody's blocking your layups right now. Nobody's stealing the ball from you. Nobody's beating you in basketball. You are beating yourself. You're blocking your own shots. You're missing your own layups because you don't have the right mindset right now. That's your biggest challenge. It has nothing to do with your layups. If you change your mindset If I worked with you for 30 days and changed your mindset, you got the exact same skill set that you got right now, and you'd be 10 times the player because your mindset is all effed up right now. So the number one thing I say for you to get your mind right, go to my YouTube channel, watch my mental and motivational playlist. I got over 300 videos about the mental side and motivational side of the game. You need to watch those. You don't need to watch any drills. You don't need to do no drills. I mean, you could keep your game up wherever it is, but you don't need to improve your skill level right now. You got to improve your mental level because your skill level could be super high. Without the right mentality, you will never succeed. I don't care how much skill you got. And go to Amazon.com and get 2 books. Dre Baldwin, The Mental Handbook, and Dre Baldwin, The Mirror of Motivation. Get both of those books right now, as soon as possible. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to Amazon.com and get both of those books and read them right now. Next question. James says, do you need to have full access to a gym? All right, nobody can stop me but myself. Allen Iverson. James said, do you need to have full access to a gym to do the jump manual and still add 10 inches? I don't know what you mean by full access, but you need to be able to use the gym. You need to be able to go to the gym. So you don't have to be the only person in the gym. You need to be in the gym because the gym has equipment that you need to do the jump manual. So yes, you do need to go to a gym to do the jump manual because it requests that you use equipment to get the best results. Optimal results. You want optimal results, right? Then go to a gym. Next, Slimmy says, what's your job right now? Do you still do basketball? Good Viz motivated me to work on my game. Well, I don't actually have a job per se. I think a lot of people still had this job. A lot of people in life still had this job mindset. But I'm thinking like it's 2015. People still think a job is like the normal, right way to do things. I know not everybody. I know not most of y'all. But there are a lot of people out there who still think that way. I don't have a job. I'm an entrepreneur. So my job technically is minding my business. And when I say minding my business, I'm not trying to be smart or be sly when I'm saying minding my business. When I say minding my business, I mean that literally. My mind is on my business. Like these videos is part of my business. Writing blog posts is part of my business. Being on YouTube, being on Periscope, building my brand. If I post something on Instagram or Facebook, that's part of my business. When I'm doing a speaking engagement, that's my business. When I'm in the gym working out, that's part of my business. Because guess how a lot of you know me from watching me work out in the gym. That's part of my business. So every single thing I do is part of my business. So my job is to mind my business, which means I keep mentally focused on whatever my business is. And right now, the part of my business I'm focused on is answering these questions in this Q&A. So somebody posted a question while I was just talking. Please repost that question. Brandon says, how am I supposed to eat healthy when I'm not the one who buys the food in my house and keep up the good work? Well, here's the thing, Braden. You have a choice as to what you eat. You might not be the one who buys the food, but you don't have to eat everything that gets bought. So if there's unhealthy things being bought, because what you're saying basically, Braden, is that you think the reason that you keep eating unhealthily is because somebody's buying unhealthy stuff and you have no choice but to eat it. That is completely false. Nobody's forcing you to eat that stuff. You could ask whoever it is buying the food, let's say your parents or something like that, hey, can you buy some fruit? Raider Nation says, LeBron going to be the best player in the league this season or next? Yeah, is he going to lose the best player in the league this season or next? I don't know about next season, but this season right now, I say no. I think he's still going to be the best player in the league until somebody proves that he's not. So anyway, Braden, back to Braden's question. You don't have to eat everything that gets brought into the house. You don't have to eat the potato chips. You don't have to eat ice cream. You don't have to eat whatever it is that you consider to not be healthy food. And if you really want to have some control over the situation, go get a job, go make some money, and buy your own food. You can do that. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. I've never heard a parent I can't say that. Most parents are not going to tell their kid, hey, I forbid you from getting a job and making your own money and supporting yourself so we don't have to keep doing it. Very few parents are going to say you can't do that. And if they say you can't, then tell them, hey, the reason I want to do it is because I want to eat healthier. So could you help me do that? I don't think any parents are going to say, listen, you got to eat unhealthily because we're the ones buying the food and you are forbidden from going and getting your own money and buying your own food and saving us money from buying it for you. So no parent's going to say that. So go make your own money. If you don't know how to make your own money, I recorded, I don't know if I put it out yet. There's a video on my YouTube channel that talks about if you are broke, if you're a kid, you're broke, you don't have no money, you don't have a way of making money, I'll show you exactly how you can start making money right now. And you don't have to have any type of working papers. You don't need you don't need to get hired by nobody. You can go into business for yourself right now. That video will be coming out. If it didn't come out already, it's coming out very soon. So just make sure you follow my YouTube channel. You'll see that video. KC2Fly, what are the keys to getting rid of negative thoughts and confidence on and off the court? You need to watch my motivation and mental game playlist because I talk about that every single week. So you need to watch all those videos. There's no one thing. It's everything. And if you want to read something, go to Amazon.com, read my book, It is called The Super You. That book is about confidence. It's all about confidence. It's called The Super You. Amazon.com. Go buy that book, KC2Fly. Kobe Pearson asked me, do I like Eminem? Yes, I do like Eminem. Next, Harry Sherwood says, I'm mostly a three-point shooter. I start off before games, not missing a shot. And then as soon as I get into a game, I miss 60% of my threes. Should I take less pregame shots? I love your videos. Well, Harry, if you're missing 60% of your threes, that means you're a 40% three-point shooter. That means you're pretty damn good. So I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're doing. Nobody makes 100% of their shots in a game. Nobody. Stephen Curry is one of the best, probably the best three-point shooter we got right now. What does he shoot? Like 45%? So over half of his shots from three, he misses. And I know you're not Stephen Curry. You're not talking about the NBA. But listen, nobody makes every single shot that they take. So you keep practicing the way that you're practicing. Keep playing in games. There's nothing wrong with your routine. Keep working. If you want to work harder and improve your skills, definitely do that. But if you're making 40% of your threes, you're doing pretty damn good. Next, top bottom floor. He says, I like seeing your positive movements. You have good content. Thank you. He says, who's the better player in their prime, Ray Allen or Vince Carter? He asked another question. I'm not answering both. Better player in their prime between Ray Allen and Vince Carter? You kidding me? Vince Carter. Vince Carter. Vince Carter was the damn man. I was a huge Vince Carter fan. The Nike Shox BB4 is still one of my favorite basketball shoes of all time. So definitely Vince Carter. Josh says, I have tryouts on November 12th, but the first game's not till December. So is it okay to do the Kyrie Irving handbook then? Absolutely, yes, because you're going to be working on your game in that time period. So definitely do the Kyrie Irving handbook during that time period. Next question. Ariane says, Dre, I hope you've been doing well. Thank you so much for the reply. I can't believe it. He says, his question is, tryouts are coming up. I'm getting nervous. I'm scared that I may not perform at my best, and all the hard work I put in will not pay off. Do I have any tips that he could really appreciate? Thanks for taking the time to help all of us out. Well, here's the thing, Arian. What are you afraid of? Why are you having those thoughts? You're having thoughts that you might fail, and that's the only thing that's bothering you? That's not a problem. So all you need to do is stop having those thoughts. Watch my videos on confidence. Watch my video on pregame mental preparation. Read my book, The Super You. Read my book, The Mirror Motivation. Read my book, The Mental Handbook. Those things will tell you exactly how to handle those challenges that you're having mentally. Because you don't have a physical problem, you got a mental challenge right now. You're getting nervous and scared that you may not perform at your best. Why would you think that? Do you know what your best is? Do you know how to get into that right mind frame? When you get into the right frame of mind, you can perform at the highest level that you are possibly able to perform at. And that's a skill that everybody has to develop. It's conditioning. It's conditioning. It's kind of like if you do suicides every single day and you stop doing it for a month, the next time you try to do suicides, you're going to be tired as hell. But if you do it every day, doing one suicide is easy. It's the same thing with your mental game. And a lot of people put so much emphasis on the physical, no emphasis on the mental, and then when they don't perform at the level they think they can, they're like, what the hell happened? It's because you got to put the practice into your mental game the same way that you do your physical game, because 90% of anything you do, basketball, school, business, relationships, whatever, is mental. When you got the right frame of mind, you can supersede your physical limitations. Next question. Justin Morin says, Dre, do you take any supplements? Do I take a supplement called creatine? Have I ever? So what's my opinion on it? Would I recommend basketball players use it? I do not take creatine. I had taken it in the past, but there's so many different types of creatine. So I can't really say creatine is good or creatine is bad. It's like me saying water is good or water is bad, or me saying pizza is good and pizza is bad. Thank you, Solutions Turk, for the content comment. There's no really way to say it's good or bad. It depends on how you're using it and why you're using it. What creatine does, actually, let me not even try to give you a detail what creatine does. I'm not qualified to tell you. But creatine basically allows your muscles to, actually, I'm not even going to try to explain it because I don't even know what it does. Go Google it if you want to know what creatine does. I can't say if it's good or bad for a basketball player. It depends on why you're taking it. So first of all, figure out what it is that you want. So reverse engineer. This is how I do everything. I figure out what it is that I want, and then I reverse engineer. I work backwards from the goal to where I'm at. So if what I want is to get bigger muscles, how do I get bigger muscles? The only thing that I know is I need to go to the gym and lift weights. How can I get better at that? Maybe I can take protein because that gives me more food for my muscles. Maybe I can take creatine because it does X, Y, Z. Or I can take this other supplement because it does X, Y, Z. But I don't know what those things are. I'm not the person to answer that question. Go to your gym and ask a personal trainer who you trust who can give you better information than I can, because that is not my area of expertise. Next question. This is the last one off YouTube. So any of y'all got a question here on Periscope, prepare those questions and I'm about to answer them. Anthony says, I want to say I followed your video on how to palm the basketball, and now I can dunk. Excellent. So I got a video about any of you want to learn how to palm a basketball. My guy Jacob made a video. It's here on my channel, how to palm a basketball, and you can learn how to palm a ball. So he said he followed it and he can dunk now. And he says his wrist burns. Anyway, his question. No, that wasn't his question. The question is, he's 17 years old. He's skinny, and for the past months he's been doing push-ups and sit-ups. What can he do? What else can he do at home to gain weight that he can do at home for free? Well, first of all, Anthony, stop trying to find things for free, because if you want to get good at something and anything, it requires an investment. There's an investment of time, there's an investment of energy, and eventually it's going to be an investment of money. That's just how it is. If you want to get better at something, you want some super information that's really going to take you from where you are to a higher level and a jump in leaps and bounds instead of one single tiny step at a time. It's going to take you 20 years, then you might have to make an investment. But anyway, to answer your question, if you want to gain weight, you need to take in more calories than you're burning. So it's like the third time I had to say this video. If you want to gain weight, you need to take in more calories than you burn, which means if your weight has pretty much been constant for the past month, that means you're eating about the same amount that you're burning. If you want to gain weight, then this is the eating side. Your eating needs to be higher than what you're burning. That's it. That's how you'll gain weight. So eat more food and you'll gain weight, Anthony Turner. Anybody got a question here on Periscope? And then we're going to be ready to wrap this up. This is Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com, live Q&A number 88. This is going on my YouTube channel tomorrow morning, which will be Saturday, September 26th. I'm doing it live on Periscope. I'm going to do this every week now moving forward. If y'all like what I've been doing here, please give me the hearts. Please show me some love. I'm going to do another scope right after this. I'm on fire right now. So I'm about to do another Periscope right after this. I'm going to start Periscoping. What water is this? It's called Big Chill water. I bought this from CVS, but it's just water. I just got this out the tap. I drink tap water. I don't buy bottled water. I bought this when I was out somewhere. I needed some water, and after I finished it, I just filled it up with water from the sink. I drink tap water. I don't care where it's from. I'm not nervous about none of that stuff. I'm not a hypochondriac. I just drink it. All right. Anybody else got a question? Please give me those hearts. Let me know what you like what I'm doing here. I need the love, man, to work on your game community. I really appreciate y'all, all y'all who are new. We do this every single week on YouTube. I do it every single day on YouTube. I'm doing this every single day. Writing, YouTubing, motivating, philosophizing. Is that a word? Philosophizing? I think that's right. For the last 10 plus years online. You know, I'm one of the pioneers of this thing. If I may say so myself, I will say so myself. So please hit the not the thumbs up. I usually say thumbs up on YouTube. Hit the hearts if you like what I'm delivering to y'all here. Any last comments, you can leave those down there as the questions. Then we're going to wrap this up pretty soon. And I'm about to do another one. And No Days Off says, do I have a desire to train other players face to face? No, I do not have that desire. I do not have that desire to be a basketball trainer. I do not want to be that. It's not my thing. I'm not passionate about it. If I did it, I'd only be doing it for the money, and then I feel like I'm stealing from y'all. And KEHCL says, am I going to any camps anytime soon? Next camp I go to is going to be a camp that I'm running. I'm not going to a camp to nobody else's camp. It's going to be my camp. So if y'all want to come to the Dre Baldwin Work on Your Game camp, let me know that y'all want to see a Work on Your Game camp. Tweet me. Hit me on Twitter at DreAllDay that y'all want to see a Work on Your Game basketball camp, because that is definitely something that I've already started putting like the, not even laying the foundation, but trying to get the overall structure of how it's going to work. That is definitely something that's going to happen. So if y'all interested in the Dre All Day basketball camp, let me know. Or basketball conference, you know, not even just for people who play, but people who want to get into the business. Takaro says, am I into cars? Not really. KEHCL, my location is Miami, baby, 305. And Solution said we need one in Philly. Maybe we might do one in Philly. Maybe I could branch out, but I got to start in Miami, man. That's where I live. I got to start in Miami. KC25 says, what's the professional game like? That's a hell of a question. That's a loaded question, KCH25. You're going to have to watch my video about playing overseas basketball. I got several of them on YouTube, and I also got a lot of writing on my website talking about that. So we're going to wrap this up right here. This has been Q&A number 88. For those of you who don't know, I do this every single week on YouTube. This video is going to go on my YouTube channel because I just got that great idea, 10 ideas every day. Shout out to James Altucher for giving me that idea to work on my idea muscle. Man, I've been talking a lot. I've been periscoping since like 2 hours ago. We're going to keep it going. I'm on fire right now. So when you got the energy going, you got to keep going. We're going to do another one right after this. You don't even know what I'm going to talk about, but you'll see it when I post it on the topic. Tweet me and follow me at Dre All Day. I do this stuff every day. Like I told y'all, I've been doing this for 10 years straight. We're going to wrap this up. So y'all know how I like to end this video. Please, everybody, hashtag with me right now, WOYFG or WOYG. If you don't like to curse, I like to curse. It's right here, and it's also right here. Dre All Day, Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com, signing out. Work on your fucking game. We out of here, and I'm about to come right back with another Periscope. Done. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here. And make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day. Work on your game.